This is episode 61 of Standing Out. Standing Out is a remarkable interview style podcast with the intention to highlight women and men making outstanding contributions in their field. This podcast is generously sponsored by Think Global. Think Global is a business advisory firm working with women entrepreneurs around the globe to scale their businesses to the next level. Today, I'd like to welcome Patti Massey. Patti is the owner and CEO of MYCA Material Handling Solutions. Using technology as an enabler, MYCA creates world-class solutions for proactive cost reduction management in three indirect spend categories: material handling equipment, trailer management, and commercial waste sustainability management. Patti serves as the second vice chair of the National WeBank Forum and was awarded WeBank's highest honor as a 2012 star. She's an active member of the WeBank Board of Directors and the ORV Women's Business Council Steering Committee. In May, MYCA was selected as one of the 50 fastest growing women-owned businesses in the country, placing 14th on the list. Welcome, Patti. Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much.
That has to be so exciting. One of the fastest growing women-owned companies, 14th on the list.
I know. We were so thrilled. And really, it all came as a result of my engagement in WeBank and continuing to grow and develop our business. Yeah, so in 2012, when I was a star, we were at about $5 million a year in revenue. Fast forward to 2016, we were at $35 million. So significant increase. Yeah.
Wow, that's huge. What was that? Well, I have a lot of questions for you. I guess we'll just start right there. What was that sort of jump like going from 5 to 35 million?
Well, it really was dependent upon getting a management team and an infrastructure in place so that we could be scalable. So MYCA, that's actually how it's pronounced.
Oh, MYCA, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It stands for maximizing your company's assets. So MYCA has been in business for 25 plus years. And in 2004, we took a different turn. We went into the material handling industry, and our first client was Procter & Gamble.
Wow.
Well, they recommended, I know, isn't that awesome? And it had been a long-term client.
There are very few people that say, and our first client was Procter & Gamble. So
True. So our second client, though, was a referral from Procter & Gamble, and it was Sunoco Products, one of their top suppliers.
Okay.
And they had some fairly aggressive supplier diversity goals for their tier one suppliers, P&G did. And Sunoco was asking for help to identify quality women-owned and minority-owned companies to work with. So P&G recommended us to them.
Wow.
And we started with them in 2006, and they really took a strong interest in helping us to grow and develop within their network. And so we started small, and we gradually added more and more business. And in 2012, when I was a star, we were handling their material handling equipment. And then in 2013, we hired a person who had intimate knowledge of Sunoco Products infrastructure, and it just took us to a new level. So we added waste management in 2014, and then we added tractor trailer management in 2016. So those have all contributed. Adding those additional business units to our infrastructure has contributed to the growth.
Absolutely. What does it mean to be a WeBank star, and what happens? I feel like some amazingness happens after you're a star. So fill us in on that.
Yeah, so each year, not this year because it was the 20th anniversary of WeBank, but each previous year, they select one woman-owned business from each regional partner organization to represent that territory. And so there are 14 stars every year, and there's a big event, usually in Washington, D.C., but it travels. Last year was in New Orleans. It's called the Summit and Salute, where the stars are honored. And there's a wonderful opportunity opportunity to be recorded and talk about your business and talk about the strengths that you have and what you can provide. So it's good exposure as well as great recognition. And so that's what Stardom is about. And really, it's up to you from there. How do you leverage this wonderful connection and opportunity for exposure by sharing your business model? And hopefully, by the time you're a star, you have achieved a certain level of capability and capacity, and you're ready for the next level.
Right.
So that's what happened for us. And it takes years. I mean, this isn't something that is an overnight thing. But as you continue to be visible in the WeBank network, and Stardom gives you that opportunity.
How long have you
Good
been?
things happen.
Absolutely. It looks like it. You are living proof of good things happen in that WeBank community. I'm so excited to be a part of it too. How long have you been in the WeBank community?
Since 2009.
Okay.
Prior to that, I was part of NMSDC. I had two minority partners, which I bought out, and then I converted over to WeBank. And it's been an absolutely wonderful experience. The sisterhood, the connections, the opportunities, being second vice chair of the forum right now. I mean, there are 14,000 certified women-owned businesses in WeBank, and there are 3 women that are the leaders of that branch of the organization. So Cheryl Sneed is the current chair, and then Patricia Christian Rodriguez is the second, or the first, and then I'm the second. Well, next year, Patricia becomes the chair, and I become the first vice chair.
Oh, okay.
And then 2 years from that, I become the chair. So it's a wonderful succession plan, and it really prepares you for that leadership role to serve in the vice chair roles.
Absolutely. What is your main job or duty as someone who, as a chair?
It's really to foster the connectivity between the WeBank organization, the corporates, the board of directors. We all serve on the board, as well as to mentor and support and encourage and elicit engagement from other WBEs. So the forum is really a subset of the organization. Every WBE that's certified is eligible to participate, but many actually get appointed to an official role in the forum. So each event, we have 300 to 400 to 500 women that show up a day early to network with each other. Yeah. And to provide encouragement, support, and we really do help each other's businesses grow. So in fact, I have a great example of that.
Yeah, share it.
I actually met Terry McNally with Global Capital at a forum meet and greet session in 2014, and I added her to my supply chain. And since then, I've sent well over 2 million, closing on 3 million of business to her company.
Wow.
And only through that sisterhood that we were able to connect. She was competitive, she met the need, and I was in charge of the spend, so I could direct it. So it worked out well.
That is something, as a newer weebie, I did not know how many people were coming in early. And as I was booking my flights, people I was connecting with started saying, oh, well, will you be there a day early? And I was thinking, well, no, I'm coming for the event. And now I know why. Come early. Insiders.
Absolutely. Exactly. I will see you early at the Summit and Salute.
Well, there is so much to do and so many people to meet, and you want to maximize the scheduled days too, and the business fair networking and things like that. That sometimes it gets hard to then schedule additional meetings or, just walk around introducing yourself a little bit to meet new people. And so I think that day early is a really great recommendation. Now, we were talking a little bit before we hopped on this call, and you mentioned something to me, and you said pleasantly persistent, and I love it, and I think that will stick with me forever. And so I would love for you to share with everyone what that means to you.
Yeah, so these people that come to the events from the corporate world meet a lot of people. Yes. And not everybody is qualified to do business with the corporations, which is why we encourage WBE to WBE opportunities. But given the fact that you are a quality supplier, you have the capability and the capacity to meet their needs, they're still bombarded. I mean, they could get thousands of follow-up afterwards. So I think that pleasantly persistent really means not being aggressive, but making sure they don't forget you. So learn something personal about them or something relevant about their industry and share that little fact in a quick email. Or go to all of the events. I tell everybody you need to show up to be engaged.
Yes.
So, and then make sure that you're strategic with your networking. Don't stand off to the side with your current pals, circulate the room.
Right.
And then don't be afraid to ask another WBE sister to introduce you to somebody you'd like to meet, and then develop your own relationship. So I do a lot of that mentoring, and I'll tell my friends, I'll say, if you come to the event and you tell me who you want to meet, I probably know them, and I'll make sure I facilitate an introduction. And that's how it starts, and then it's kind of up to each of us to continue to build and grow that.
I had the most amazing experience in Vegas. My ambassador is Audrey Dempsey, and one of the things that she did that I felt was so above and beyond was she literally took my arm and said, "Here, Katrina, come over and meet this corporate. I think you two have a lot to talk about." And she walks me right up to this corporate. She does this whole introduction of how amazing I am, how wonderful the company is, and all these connections we have. And then we had a fantastic conversation. And I did not expect an ambassador to do that, and was absolutely blown away. And so I think when you talk about that sisterhood, and your story about you adding someone to your supply chain and the amount of revenue you then send them, I absolutely believe that and see that in this organization. I think it's really amazing. What is one of the things that you do to keep yourself inspired and sort of top of your game in your industry, or even in the WeBank sort of world?
Well, I think continuing education is important. Took advantage of the TUC program back in I think that was back in 2014. And then I went through the Goldman Sachs 2000 Small Business Program in 2015. And this year I'm going to TUC 2, the advanced program.
Oh, I
and there are many.
Was an advanced.
Yeah, it's new.
Oh, okay.
This is the first year for it. And you have to have gone through the first TUC program to qualify. And there are a number of scholarships available. So I'm just really proactive about that. As a leader in the organization, I feel like I need to stay on top of my game. And I need to be a sounding board for others. And so you need to have outside opportunities for learning. You can't just put your head down and stay focused on your own business.
It's true. Tell everyone about the TUC program. What do you learn in there? What do you do?
Well, it's a very immersive week-long opportunity to both network with each other, because there's about 30 or 40 women, and they're all from WeBank. So you get a chance to we call each other when we see somebody out loud, "Oh, a TUC sister," because you really get to know people, and you get to know their businesses. So there are instructors from Dartmouth College and these instructors have real life business experience. Many of them are consultants, and so they're not just theoretical. They talk about things on evaluating your financial statement, looking at growth opportunities, looking at people issues. I mean, all of the things that we face in business kind of encapsulated in a week-long, very immersive program. You are residential, so you're on site at the IBM Center in Palisades, New York. Oh, wow. And it's just a wonderful experience to break away from your day-to-day routine and focus on your business.
Very cool. As we wrap up, my last question for you is this. As an industry expert and with all this experience you have with WeBank, what is one thing that's personally on your radar that you think in another year from now we're all going to be talking about sort of as a hot topic or a trend?
Well, Personally, both in my business and what I'm noticing, I think the whole concept of disruptive technology is going to be with us for a while. We did it with the material handling industry, a very traditionally male-dominated, kind of steeped in tradition. We introduced something called remote entry, which requires technicians to enter the data on a repair at that moment of repair. And that was very disruptive in that industry. But we were able to get 300 supply partners to adopt it because we have such a large geographic footprint in Canada, US, and Mexico. And those kinds of things, we're now rolling that out in the commercial waste industry and in the tractor trailer industry. So I think that just overall, the things that we can now do with technology and data are going to continue to revolutionize the business world.
I think you are so right, and having that footprint is helpful. And I think so many of us know in some of our day-to-day tasks that we do, so many of us are thinking there's got to be a better way for this, some technology solution. And I love when companies bring that to the marketplace and users adopt to it so quickly, because I think they were thinking the same thing. There's got to be a better way. So kudos to you on that.
Exactly.
Thank you, Patti, so much for being here. You're such a delight.
Oh, it's been fun. Thank you too, Katrina.
You're welcome.